Charlestown gets an interesting rap based on movies set in the neighborhood, like The Town, where Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner portray local bank robbers, or Mystic River, a murder mystery with Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon, and Tim Robbins. But don't let those stereotypes fool you. Modern-day Charlestown is a very safe and friendly neighborhood. Compared to other neighborhoods close to downtown, Charlestown is a bit more quaint and quiet. I think this is due to the geographic separation from the rest of Boston proper, provided by the Charles River and Boston Harbor, and the separation from Cambridge due to I-93. I picked up more of a residential vibe from Charlestown, at least residential compared to other Boston neighborhoods in its proximity. It's not your typical American suburb, and I've noticed the streets are less noisy than other parts of the city. The architecture has a bit of color, and it sort of contrasts the red brick or brownstones in other areas of the city to give it a more unique feel. Charlestown is part of the Freedom Trail and is home to the Bunker Hill Monument, which actually sits on Breeds Hill, but everyone still calls it Bunker Hill, so whatever. This site does create a bit of foot traffic. Speaking of getting around on foot, if you live on the base of what everyone refers to as Bunker Hill, you're still within reasonable walking distance to the West End, about 20 minutes to TD Garden. If you don't feel like walking, Charlestown offers easy access to the Orange Line on the T. Note, if you're going to be using public transit regularly, you will want to live closer to New Rutherford Avenue and one of the two T stops along that street. If you don't want to be reliant on public transportation, it can be easier to park a car in Charlestown than other parts of the city, although it is still difficult, but still easier relative to like Beacon Hill and Back Bay. And there are some private spaces that, when available, cost less than those on the West End. When I was doing my research on moving to Boston, I budgeted $200 to $300 for a private space in Charlestown. Charlestown contains the Navy Yard, home of the USS Constitution, and gives you convenient access to the river and the walking paths that run along it. The restaurant scene in Charlestown is, in my opinion, not at the level of other parts of the city. You have options, but there's nothing there that I would tell you you have to go to or you would be completely missing out. The Warren Tavern is a historic spot, but the only time I've been, it was crowded with what appeared to be tourists. One convenient aspect of Charlestown is the fact that one of the largest grocery stores in the neighborhood, yes, it is a Whole Foods, has a parking lot, and there are usually enough spaces. So unlike other areas of Boston close to downtown, if you have a car and you don't want to have to worry about carrying your groceries long distances, this is a good setup for you. If you're watching this video because you're moving to Boston, I'm willing to bet you're a young professional. If you are, know that from my experience, Charlestown is not the first neighborhood people think of when they think of neighborhoods for young professionals. But if you like the feel of this neighborhood, go for it. Charlestown seems like a good compromise for those who might be starting a family but don't want to completely move out of the suburbs. The data from Boston.gov appears to back up this claim, as the proportion of residents age 17 and under and age 35 and older more closely mirror suburban-esque neighborhoods like West Roxbury and Roslindale, as opposed to downtown neighborhoods in proximity like the North End. If you're planning to move to Charlestown, you're going to want to budget about $3,300 for a one-bedroom and roughly $3,700 for a two-bedroom. The site where I normally get my data had a skewed sample size for the month of January just due to availability on the market. The Navy Yard has a lot of new developments that can cost more than that, but then there are also other two bedrooms in older buildings elsewhere in the neighborhood. So that's it for my quick breakdown of Charlestown. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Please subscribe if you're moving to Boston and you are interested in neighborhood guides or moving tips, and please like the video if you enjoyed.